So everyone says they're ready, but when XRP really moves, most won't even catch it. So today, if you're new to my channel, I talk about 3 points. Right now, it's specifically around XRP, but my channel is more so for overall wealth. I talk a lot about cryptocurrency and then different strategies to build wealth long-term. Like this, I'll discuss trading short-term, and then depending on what your definition of short-term is, it's gonna change. I do a little bit of day trading. I also do a lot of different strategies like to accumulate wealth, like the wheel strategy within stocks, and then also different staking opportunities within cryptocurrency. But back to the 3 points. A lot of people will miss this opportunity because they're looking at it from a hype perspective. Point number 1 that I want to talk about is folks wait for hype and then they panic. If you're watching this video, I don't want you to fall into that same exact panicking mode. A lot of the speculation, like cryptocurrency speculation right now in general. And then there's a lot of infrastructure though being built specifically around XRP. The reason why I talk a lot about XRP is because I believe in it holistically. It's shifting the market in a different path and it's replacing an old dated system. So that's what's happening today. If you zoom out, right, if you're zoomed in right now, you look at a lot of the movement, you're gonna fall into the FOMO, and then you're gonna listen to the FUD. When fear happens, then you're gonna fall into that same exact rabbit hole. Usually within cryptocurrency, there's cycles. This is the 4th cycle going on. And every single cycle, I've noticed, and then it tanks. And every single time, myself included, I'm always feeling like it's gonna continue going up. But I know that things have to correct. And then usually things are always different each of the cycles. My guess is just what has proven to work for me, and this isn't financial advice for you, but try, and this is just some random guy, some Asian dude who wants to chat with you and then just throw out his thoughts, right? Because I don't want you to fall into the same exact cycle as I did and years ago. This is my 4th cycle. And so what works for me is just diamond hands. And then if you're willing to let go of the asset, then make sure that you actually have a investing mindset. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, just not panic around that. So what's really happening right now is most retail investors will wait until XRP is trending on social media, right? And then it's already too late by that point. So understanding the asset and then getting into it now, it's always the best time because you're looking at it from a long-term perspective. You're not just jumping into it because of the hype, because that means that you'll panic and then get out of it. So if you're new to this and you're trying to understand it, then great. But try and understand it from not just the technical perspective, but a macro perspective, a bigger picture to everything. And if it's something that you want to invest into, then do it. But just make sure that, again, I don't want YouTube to crack down on my videos, but just make sure that you do consult with your financial advisor, and then make sure that this is something that you're willing to, if it went to zero, that you're okay losing it, because it's very speculative. And then a lot of folks buy at the top. I've fallen into this for other cryptocurrencies where I just bought at the peak and then you're stuck with it, right? You're just bag holding at that point. And then a lot of these cryptocurrencies too can dip, talking 50%, 100%. But if you look at it from a bigger picture, and if you actually bought it infancy stages, then you're okay, you're up 400%. Like XRP, if you guys would have picked it up a couple months ago, you would have been up at least 400%. So when it takes a little dip right now, it's nothing. You got diamond hands because that's not the comparison to what it was. But if you bought, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and you're hoping that's gonna skyrocket, you're probably hurting right now. But at the end of the day, just zoom out a little bit and try and understand the bigger picture, and then make sure that you have a plan in place. If that's to hold long-term, then that's your plan. It doesn't matter. All of this noise doesn't matter. But if you're trying to hold it for short-term, understand where your exit is gonna be at. Set a stop loss so that way you don't lose those gains, and then buy back in and then just redo it again. That's the simple thing that I could say. The advice that I can give when trading, that's trading, right? That's not investing. So back in 2017, it played out the same exact way. There was a huge parabolic run that caught most people off guard. That's the 2017 run that I reviewed in my other video on some of the technical analysis that I did. It was just a quick one, but you can see it jump. You can see that parabolic run. You zoom out a little bit too, and then you can see from 2017 to 2021, it's crazy, 35,000%. I'm still baffled, it's crazy. At the end of the day for this though, I want you to recognize the historical patterns and just resist the FOMO cycles. Just learn about it. I'm gonna talk a lot about XRP and other cryptocurrencies as well too. And then we'll get into different strategies because I don't wanna just talk about XRP, right? I wanna talk about overall wealth and then being able to use, once you actually gain all of those gains from your investments, what do you do with that? I want to talk a little bit about some options that you can do with that, just from a normal guy's perspective that's working like a 9 to 5. What else can you do to protect yourself and then also at the same time enjoy investing, learning about the stock market? I feel like when you retire, even at a young age, what does retirement look like for you? Start thinking about that. Every single day, think about what you're going to be doing and what your passion is and what else can you do with that. Since you're watching this channel, I'm assuming that you want to retire early or you just want to learn about more wealth generating assets, how to build that longevity. Because for what I'm trying to do is all of this video, I don't want it just for myself. This is completely for you guys and then also for my future kids, their grandkids. I just want to document everything that I'm doing on the pub website. I just want to put it out there. So it's amazing. Like, I'm pretty excited because as long as I have one viewer, I'm going to continue doing this. I think that's the value. If I bring that value to this world, then I'm going to continue doing it. All right, so talking point number 2, they don't understand real signals. So there's a lot of real fundamental shifts that are happening right now for XRP and cryptocurrency as a whole, right? The ISO 20022, that's already live. So that implementation is live for the backing of how money's moving the system. We'll start seeing how it actually starts getting used on the XRP ledger, but it's just cool in general from a technology perspective. The money's gonna move a lot faster. We're not gonna see any more fees. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully they don't charge 35 bucks to just send and wire money, and then hopefully it doesn't take that long. When you're trying to close on a house, it takes a full day or 2 days. What if it was just instant and you get your keys to your house that you just bought and you're excited to move in? Same thing with you have family overseas and then you need to send money overseas, or if you have business overseas, the money is gonna move instantly. It's not gonna be like, oh, let's wait 7 days and all that stuff, right? That's not hype, that's already happening. And then you've got the ProShares XRP futures. The ETF is trading. So I was chatting with my friends this weekend and they brought up, because I was just like, the ProShares is cool, XRP, and then the XRPI, those are cool, but they're leveraged. And I was just like, it would be cool if we can get the spot ETFs cleared and we start using the spot ETFs, because what you can do is you just start trading options with that. I don't preach buying options and selling options, but covered calls, some of those strategies, and I'll go through it in the future videos. But covered calls and then also cash secured puts, getting into the wheel strategy, I think those are very solid opportunities within just the market. So that's some of the stuff that you can do. And then when you think about owning an asset like XRP, it's just crazy. Derivatives and all that stuff, it's gonna compound. And then it's like owning, I don't know how to explain it, but let me think this through. It's kind of like owning a company like Google for $1. That's how I see it. And then the backing of it, it's just, the opportunities are so much there. Everything's gonna burn. You're gonna see a lot of upcoming stuff. So that's the long-term stuff that I wanna focus on. A lot of the laws are being passed, the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, legal clarity, it's all there. And so the Fed system's changing. A lot of things are already lining up. And so we're tracking adoption that way, legislation instead of influencers, right? That's not my goal here, is to influence and say, oh, XRP is popping or it's the next big thing, right? This is something that I've been invested in and I believed in. And so I'm just spitting it out and then making sure that I track every single day and every single week and hold myself accountable to make sure that all of this is lining up. If it doesn't, then what's my backup plan? What's my exit plan? So just making sure that I have a plan in place, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys here. So talking point number 3, and this aligns with what I just talked about, having a game plan. Most don't have a game plan. No dollar cost averaging, no targets, there's no conviction. What I do is follow a disciplined weekly strategy regardless of the noise, just dollar cost average, setting it and forgetting it. And then I gotta have my fun too. So what I do is I also trade on BTCC. That's just for fun, just so that way I can get a little excitement because I'm an adrenaline junkie, right? I stopped drinking coffee, but every time I record, I have to drink coffee with you guys. I should probably go back to tea, but I feel like coffee just gets me a little bit more wired. So that's what the goal of this is, just coffee chats. The accumulating while it's quiet sets you up for the next breakout. It's just gonna get you so much more excited about that, and then you're gonna have a lot of a better mindset around investing. I started with cryptocurrency. Let me take that back. 2013 was when I first started getting into the stock market. And I got it because I was working at my first corporate job. And so I learned a lot about employee purchase share plans. And so I was like, oh, what is that? One of my older mentors at that time, he was just a coworker, but he became a mentor to me. He was like, if you get into this, it's a bonus, the way that he shared with me, because I didn't even understand stocks at that time, let alone cryptocurrency. And then I would just like learn about stocks, got into that. My first year, I made about $10,000 just off of employee purchase plans of the stock of the company that I was at. So I was like, this is insane. I made more than my bonus. At the time I was making $40,000 per year. And so my bonus was maybe $2,000, but my stocks shot up. So that's when I started getting excited about learning about how the stock market works, 401k, making sure I put my money in there, and then learning about these different strategies right off the bat. And so I started noticing you got to defer some of your gratification in order to make an abundance later. So that way you can actually diversify a lot better. So that's one of the things that I'll talk about on this channel. But those are the 3 points that I wanted to get out to you guys real quick. And just make sure that it isn't about the moonshots. Don't react and overreact towards the dumps and then the pumps that are going on. At the end of the day, I just want to focus on the real reasons why people miss the wealth building opportunities inside cryptocurrency or outside as well too. Just learning about the different strategies, and I just wanted to get that out to you guys. Make sure you stay calm, cool, have a sense of clarity. And if you guys like this type of video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Thank you. Later.